Welcome back and thank you for staying with eNCA. Now the ANC in the Free State will hold its Lekgotla in Bloemfontein this weekend. This follows the election of new provincial leadership led by Mxolisi Dukwana. It's unclear where the political future lies for Premier Ntombela after she lost the battle for the chair. Let's go to our reporter Moloko Moloto, who is in Bloemfontein for us, and he joins us now live from there. All right, Moloko, so this weekend finally they'll have their very first Lekgotla, this new leadership of the Free State. Are you hearing anything from your sources, Moloko, about what will happen to Ntombela?
Hello, Masego. Well, this is a three-day meeting of the ANC in the Free State since their election last month. The newly elected PEC, as you correctly said, chaired by Mxolisi Dukwana. Of course, today we were told that they will be doing an induction for the new members of the PEC so that they can know what to do, what not to do. And of course, Mxolisi Dukwana earlier was addressing them. But in terms of the future of Ntombela, the Premier of the Free State, we now know that she has not made it onto the PEC, even after failing to beat Mxolisi Dukwana for the position of chairperson. In fact, what is also known, Masego, I mean, you have been to various meetings of this nature of the ANC, not only in Gauteng, but across the country. Oftentimes, you will see the black VIP cars. And on my right, my colleague won't be able to show you, I'm not too sure if he can. There's just one black car, one black VIP car standing there in isolation. It belongs to MEC Mxolisi Dukwana. Why? Because none of the other 9 MECs in the province have made it onto the PEC. This is why you don't see many black cars here. You only see one for MEC Mxolisi Dukwana, who is the chairperson. Of course, the Premier herself is also not here because she is not the PEC member. But perhaps let's listen to Mxolisi Dukwana, the chairperson of the ANC, when he was opening this particular meeting. He was telling the newly members of the ANC not to be arrogant, even if one day they were to get these blue lights.
And that we actually don't have that snippet that you had with of the interview that you had rather with Mxolisi Dukwana. But what else are you expecting to be on the agenda at this Lekgotla? Probably the renewal of the ANC in the Free State. I mean, it's that province besides the Western Cape that had to go to its elective conference after the national conference.
Oh yes, Masego. In fact, of all the 5 regions in the Free State, only 3 went for their regional elections. That is Mangaung and Lejwe-Leputswa. That went in November on the same weekend. And the latest to go for its regional conference was Fezile Dabi. They elected a young woman. Her name is Victoria De Beers, who is the new chairperson of the ANC in the Fezile Dabi. She joins me now. Ma'am, thank you so much for your time. What are the tasks that you really believe must be top on our priority list in terms of reviving the ANC at the branch level and at all the structures in your region in Fezile Dabi?
Thank you very much for having me. The top priorities is that in order for us to build branches of the ANC, because currently there was a political lull in our region and we are speaking about the unity and renewal of those branches. So what we're basically saying is that everyone that is sitting at home, we will start going to fetch them because they are all members of the ANC, and we will also for the immediate start to introduce political education so that we are able to revive our branches, and our branches don't only exist for the purposes of conferences.
The issue of service delivery in the Free State province, we heard from the national chairperson of the ANC, Gweda Mandashe, when he was opening the provincial conference here, saying that there are no roads, there's no service delivery, saying that he doesn't see work infrastructure on the ground. You are the mayor of a local municipality, and recently we have seen the protesters burning or torching the house belonging to your parents in protest. Tell us about the situation in as far as service delivery is concerned, where you govern.
Indeed, service delivery has become a challenge in most of the municipalities, and they're mainly faced on legacy issues that have happened previously. And now also the issue of municipalities, when you look at the financial viabilities that they are currently in, it is also a challenge. But with that said, we still believe there is hope for us to be able to give our people services. Now, if you look into what happened recently in my municipality that I'm leading, there has always been water challenges, and at this time the community was really at a peak where they really need water, and it's something that we are currently attending to. And I strongly believe that with a strong ANC, now that we have leadership in our regions, we'll be able to ensure that we hold municipalities accountable, especially the administrations, because they are the ones that are supposed to implement the service delivery to our communities.
Talking of service delivery, the municipalities here in the Free State collectively, of course not all of them, but they have returned an amount of 800 million rand back to the National Treasury, money that they ought to have utilized to provide services such as water provision and sanitation and all that. I'm not too sure if your municipality is one of those that returned money, but in the region or district where you are governing, where you are the chairperson, how are you going to ensure that this doesn't repeat itself?
It is indeed very an unfortunate situation where municipalities have returned money to National Treasury, and monies that are supposed to be to ensure that the projects that we're having are proceeding and are for the benefit of our communities. Now, it has happened in the previous financial year, but now that we've got leadership, like I've indicated, we must ensure that projects are completed, but also at the same time, not just projects being completed for the sake of being completed, but we have quality projects, because what the national chair has been raising and saying that your infrastructure is not up to date is because of the shabby work that has been happening. So now what we need to do is to make sure that municipalities start to spend their conditional grant and unconditional grants in ensuring that they don't return, because as the Free State, and in particular where I come from in Mxolisi Dukwana region, including my municipality, we need that grant to ensure that we are changing the lives of our communities.
Are we therefore going to see you as the ANC in the region removing the mayors who are not fulfilling their tasks?
Indeed, and that means that because I'm the chairperson of that region, it means that in terms of service delivery, we must make sure there is political will from all the political heads, and then from the administrative point of view, where there is a lack, indeed the ANC must come into that space and say that, but you are not for the community. So, and we as the ANC, we are representing society. So, yeah.
Victoria De Beer, thank you so much, ma'am. We appreciate. She is the newly elected chairperson of the ANC in the Fezile Dabi, this region of the ANC in the Free State. I think she was elected a week or two ago, so she is still new in her office. Of course, behind me, the new members of the ANC PEC in the Free State are in an induction, and as I said earlier on, Mxolisi Dukwana was saying to them, when we are elected, sometimes we are given the blue lights, and we tell people not to speed, telling people to obey the rules of the road. Yet we are the first ones, because we have blue lights, to speed. And when the traffic cop stops you, you already tell them or ask them if they know who you are, saying that they as the ANC leaders must avoid such a temptation of even trying to undermine the people that they will be working with, either in municipalities or in government departments where some of them are likely to be deployed. But in terms of the future of Sisi Ntombela, it would seem that the writing is on the wall already, because this particular meeting on Saturday and Sunday, it will be a Lekgotla, and they have already said that they are going to be making an assessment of the performance of the provincial government. And Gwede Mantashe has already said that their task must be to assess the performance of this government. In fact, Mantashe said that there's no government in the Free State, there's no government even at the local government level. So based on that, I guess the writing is really on the wall for Sisi Ntombela. Marcel?
All right, Moloko Moloto, live for us in Bloemfontein. Let's leave it there for now.